She thought it was just a bad grade. A mistake. But when she saw the way her teacher smirked, she knew it wasn't an accident. This wasn't about her work. This was about her. In that moment, something inside her shifted. She wasn't just going to prove him wrong, she was going to reveal the truth he never wanted anyone to know. And when she did, it wouldn't just be in private, the entire school would be watching. It had been a challenging year, but she had pushed through every obstacle with quiet determination. Late nights hunched over textbooks, weekends spent in the library instead of with friends, and a constant pressure to prove herself in a place where she never quite felt accepted. Maya was one of the few black students in the prestigious academy, and she knew eyes were always on her, waiting for her to stumble, to confirm the stereotypes whispered in the hallways. Her grades had been her armor. Every she earned was a silent victory, a way to shut down the doubt without saying a word. She had worked hard for the final project in Mr. Dalton's history class. Weeks of research, carefully crafted arguments, and a presentation that left even her classmates impressed. When she handed it in, she felt a rare sense of relief. But relief turned to confusion when the graded paper came back with a glaring red F at the top. No comments, no explanation, just the kind of mark that could wreck her GPA and crush the college dreams she had fought so hard to keep alive. She tried to tell herself it had to be a mistake. Teachers didn't just fail students without reason, not in a school like this. If you believe in justice, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story that matters. But when she approached his desk after class, he didn't even look up from his papers. Maybe you should try harder next time, he said flatly, a smirk tugging at his mouth. The words stung, but it was the way he said them, like he already knew she had given her best and still believed it wasn't enough, that made her heart pound. Something in his tone told her this wasn't about the work at all. That night, lying awake in her small bedroom, she replayed every interaction she'd ever had with him. The subtle digs about her unexpected vocabulary. The way he praised other students for points she had made first. The looks, quick, dismissive, when she raised her hand. She realized with a cold certainty, Mr. Dalton hadn't failed her by accident. He had done it on purpose. And as the sting of injustice burned deeper, an idea began to take shape. If he wanted to play this game, she was going to make sure the whole school saw exactly who he really was. Maya didn't confront him right away. Instead, she watched, listened, waited. Over the next few weeks, she noticed a pattern she had never paid close enough attention to before. Other students who looked nothing like her, were praised for work that was sloppy compared to hers. They got extra credit for late assignments, while hers were marked down for the smallest formatting error. When a group project came around, he paired her with the least motivated students in the class, the kind who didn't even show up until presentation day. She kept her frustration hidden, but every injustice carved a deeper line into her resolve. Maya started collecting proof, subtle but damning. Photos of assignments side by side. Emails where he contradicted himself. Notes from classmates who admitted they'd been graded easier. She didn't tell anyone what she was doing. Not yet. Then came the midterm results. She had studied harder than she ever had before, spending her evenings surrounded by open books and highlighted notes until her eyes ached. But when the grades were posted on the classroom board, her name sat near the bottom, far lower than students who had openly complained about not even reading the material. She felt her face heat up as whispers rippled through the room. Mr. Dalton stood at the front, hands in his pockets, watching her reaction like it was part of the lesson. That night, she almost cried from the weight of it all. The humiliation, the unfairness, the way it seemed like no one noticed or cared. Almost. But instead of tears, something sharper rose in her chest. She didn't want pity. She wanted justice. When the school announced an upcoming assembly where top students would present their best projects of the year, Maya knew this was her chance. She submitted her history project again, this time directly to the principal for review. 2 days later, she got the email, approved. She would be presenting to the entire school, faculty included. What Mr. Dalton didn't know was that she had made some additions. Her slides didn't just cover history. They contained screenshots, grade comparisons, and carefully worded observations. Not accusations. just undeniable patterns. And when she spoke, every word would be chosen with precision. In the days leading up to the assembly, Mr. Dalton barely looked her way. He didn't suspect a thing. But Maya could feel the tension building like a storm no one saw coming. She wasn't just going to get her grade back. She was going to make sure every person in that auditorium saw the truth, and that Mr. Dalton would never be able to hide behind his desk again. The auditorium buzzed with chatter as students filed into their seats. Maya stood backstage, gripping her note cards, her heart pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. When her name was called, she walked out into the spotlight, forcing her steps steady. Her presentation began like any other: facts, dates, and historical events. But halfway through, the slides shifted. Side-by-side comparisons of graded assignments appeared on the screen. Then the email excerpts. Then the patterns, clear, undeniable. Murmurs filled the room. Teachers leaned forward. Mr. Dalton's face drained of color. Maya didn't accuse him directly. She didn't have to. Every image, every piece of evidence spoke louder than any words. By the time she finished, the silence was deafening. And in that silence, everyone knew exactly what kind of teacher he really was. The next day, Maya's grade was quietly changed to an A. Mr. Dalton didn't return to class for the rest of the week. Whispers spread, and soon the administration launched an investigation. For Maya, it wasn't just about a grade anymore. It was about proving that silence protects the wrong people, and that the truth, once shown in the light, can't be ignored. Her story became a reminder: sometimes the most powerful way to fight back is simply to make the world see